Have you ever felt like life is just too heavy? Like every step you take forward, something pulls you two steps back? We all face moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable, and happiness feels like a distant dream. But what if I told you that in the darkest of times, there's a spark within you, a spark that, once ignited, can light the way through even the toughest obstacles? Today, we're going to share a story about someone who was knocked down by life, but who found the strength to rise. A story about facing impossible odds, discovering a hidden resilience, and finding happiness when it seemed like it was never meant to be. Are you ready to discover how this journey can inspire your own? Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a small town tucked away between rolling hills, lived a young man named Ethan Walker. He wasn't extraordinary, not at first glance. He had the same struggles we all face: self-doubt, fear of failure, the weight of an uncertain future. But Ethan had something else too. He had dreams. Ethan wanted to become a writer. He dreamed of creating stories that touched people's hearts, stories that made others feel understood. But life didn't make it easy for him. His family struggled to make ends meet. The noise of the world constantly told him to be practical, to follow a safer path. Be a doctor, a lawyer, something with security, they said. The pressure grew heavier with each passing day, and so did the feeling that he was never enough. He sat at his desk every night, staring at a blank page, the words never coming. His dreams felt too far, too unrealistic. He doubted himself at every turn, questioned whether he was even capable of achieving what he truly wanted. His friends told him to just forget about it, to be happy with what you have. But Ethan couldn't shake the thought, is this really all there is? Then one fateful day, everything came crashing down. Ethan lost his job, the job that wasn't even part of his dreams. Without it, he felt lost. His financial security vanished overnight, and suddenly, everything he'd been avoiding came rushing at him. His fears, his doubts, his insecurities. He felt hopeless. The weight of the world bore down on his chest, and for the first time, he thought maybe his dreams were too big, too impossible. Maybe he wasn't meant to be a writer. Maybe he wasn't meant for anything more than just getting by. One evening, in the midst of his despair, Ethan wandered to a quiet park near his home. The cold wind nipped at his skin, and the rustling of the leaves echoed his internal turmoil. Sitting on a bench, he closed his eyes, and for a moment, he let himself feel everything. Every ounce of sadness, fear, and regret. It was in that silence, in that moment of surrender, that something inside him shifted. He remembered the words of an old mentor. The greatest obstacle you'll ever face is the fear of failure, but the real failure is never trying. The truth of those words hit him like a wave. He had been so afraid of falling short that he'd never given himself the chance to rise. But now he was ready to change. The next day, Ethan made a decision. No longer would he let fear control him. He took the first step. He opened his laptop and started writing, not with perfection in mind, but with honesty. His hands shook as he typed. His mind raced with doubts, but he didn't stop. The words came slowly at first, but each word was a victory. It wasn't easy. Some days the doubts crept back in, and the fear of failure tried to take hold again. But Ethan held on. He realized that happiness wasn't a destination. It was a journey, and every small step forward was part of that journey. And then, something miraculous happened. His story, the one he thought no one would ever read, found its way into the world. People connected with his words, his vulnerability, his truth. Ethan began to believe in himself, and as he did, the world began to believe in him too. Today, Ethan Walker is a published author, but more than that, he's someone who discovered the strength to face his fears and overcome them. He found that happiness doesn't come from avoiding obstacles. It comes from having the courage to face them, to learn, and to grow. So if you're facing your own obstacles, know this: you are not alone. Like Ethan, you have within you everything you need to rise above. Your journey may not be easy, but it will be worth it. And just like Ethan, you too can find your own happiness, one step at a time. Remember, the greatest victory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we do. Keep moving forward, keep believing, and know that happiness is waiting for you on the other side of fear. You've got this.